Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here today. This is your one-stop shop for cryptocurrency analysis, among other things. Now we're taking a look at Matic once more. I've covered this plenty of times in the past, but I have a large community built on Matic, and there's a lot of folks that are really truly passionate about it, and I can see why. Good news is we've got some technical analysis here today, and of course no fundamentals, so just bear that in mind. We only look at the charts, and it's just something that's going to help you find best practice and good entry point too. So stick around for that. Also note, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, of course, but also check out my Telegram community, my Patreon account, as well as the fact that we have a Discord channel. There's a lot of good ways of staying engaged and in the know with the groups that I have together. I'm also going to get together a Signal group soon because I get a lot of requests for that. So we'll have that up and running here in a couple weeks through my Patreon as well. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check it out. Oh, I apologize. I forgot to mention, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research, but I promise you are in good hands. I have years of trading experience, and I just love helping other people manage their wealth, right? So let's go ahead and get right to it. Without further ado, let's check it out. All right, folks, let's go ahead and take a look at Matic. Now, before we do, we always look at Ethereum and Bitcoin first, just to kind of see what's going on in the overall market to understand the correlation and how the price movement is affecting all the altcoins, right? Because Bitcoin is kind of the catalyst right now, and we'll see what's going on. So let's take a quick look here. So Bitcoin, this is, first of all, I use Binance desktop application for majority of these review videos. If it's not on Binance, I'll probably use TradingView separately. But keep in mind that this is a TradingView app within Binance, and it's available in the top right-hand corner if you'd like to click on that and access that for yourself. So what we do first is, again, looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, just kind of get a baseline what's going on. As we can see, Bitcoin kind of sold off here today, but this is the 4-hour chart. Just so you're aware, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. So these are all 4-hour bars. And essentially what we're looking at is a handful of resistance levels above the price action right now. So I was hoping for the price to continue to consolidate. Perhaps it may still do that, but it's making lower lows at this point. I'm not really liking the price action, but good news is it does appear that 30,000 is still a pretty strong support, but did test 32,700 this morning, at least here in Pacific Standard Time, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at there. All the moving averages are trending above, which is pretty standard right now. So ideally we see some consolidation and the price moves above the 50-day moving average and starts to work as a support level on its way back on the upside. I think there is still potential for that, but hope is dwindling. So please stay strong out there. It's getting ugly, but what else can we do, right? A lot of people are just holding their positions. Some are deciding to sell, thinking the bottom's going to drop off. We'll know soon enough, I hope. But at this point, we are in a period of just lower consolidation. I'm hoping we see a turnaround soon. Not much else to really note here, except for the fact that all the resistance levels are well above the price action right now. And we just gotta kind of hope for the best. Moving on to Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is not doing so well. And I guess you could say everything's not doing so well, considering the state of indecision with Bitcoin right now. So at this point, essentially, what we're looking at is just oh, hold on, sorry, that's the 1-day chart. This is the 4-hour chart. It looks a little better, still not good. It did test its support level at about 1890 again today. So we're looking at 1890 there. Let's see how the moving averages are looking. There above, we got the death cross here, which is just basically a sign of the fact that it's working as a stronger resistance level. So generally speaking, not great shape right now, but it's mirroring Bitcoin almost to a T at this point. So you can pretty much expect Ethereum to perform equally to Bitcoin until Bitcoin decides to pull its head out of its you-know-what and get back on track, because that's what essentially what's happening here with Ethereum. So again, not much to really worry about. There's really no point in identifying resistance levels. I mean, there is a strong resistance at about 3100, but that's right at the same point in which the 200-day moving average is hovering. So that's about the standard right now. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Matic. Now, Matic is doing terribly right now, and obviously the main reason is because of all these massive sell-offs with the fear-mongering and everything going on in the market right now. So good news is the price is trying to stay above the 200-day moving average right now. So that's kind of the case. In fact, why don't we go ahead and zoom out to the one-day chart first. I always like to look at that just to get a baseline, and we'll focus on the 4-hour chart here next. So one thing to note here on the one-day chart, we have the 50-day moving average almost working as a support level. That's a good sign. The 50-day moving average on the one-day chart is a pretty strong indicator. So I feel that likely the price should be in the same position it's at right now. It should be in the range of about 80 cents to I would say $1, right in that range. So I would venture to guess the next couple of days, if Bitcoin goes sideways, we will see Matic have a pretty strong recovery. Again, the recoveries for most of these altcoins is diminishing. The potential of it going 10x, 20x, whatever, I think is reducing by the day until we see Bitcoin increase. So that's why I like to cover Bitcoin first. Just make sure you understand that. It's like, why are these not doing so well? Well, they could be the best project ever, and if Bitcoin is on the bottom and trending all the way down, then we're not going to see a lot of activity, at least for a while, right? Now, altcoin season is upon us. I think there's a strong chance we will see some altcoins take off, but you got to understand there's a lot more altcoins available now than there was in 2017. So things are a little different now. Even though we have a lot more market capitalization overall, I still feel like with the saturation of too many coins, that could be impacting us here as well. We may not see as strong of an alt season this year. Again, these are just my thoughts. I'm not a financial advisor, but just keep that in mind that could be a correlation. Regardless, looking at Matic here right now, one cool thing to note is that we have a support level of about 93 cents from before, and the price is pretty much hovering right around that. So we'll just extend this out a little further as our new support level. Okay, so I would say 93 cents is a pretty strong support. Secondary support at about 80 cents roughly, with the moving average coming back up. And as you can see, with the price action moving so high so fast, roughly 5-6 days ago with Matic, the RSI is still only halfway down. Okay, so it's still considered neutral. It's not oversold or overbought. In most cases, other currencies are way down closer to 30 right now. So that's why Matic is struggling a little bit more than usual, because it went up so fast so quickly recently, and it hasn't had time to recover. It was supposed to consolidate in this channel here of like 160 to 180, but then the China candle bars came through and we're getting destroyed right now. Okay, so that's kind of probably likely what's going on here. Anytime you see a price come up like this, it has to retrace itself back down. Usually only retraces about 50% of the way and stays. So we should have saw consolidation in this channel of 160 to 180. But unfortunately, all the terrible news kind of drove things down, and everyone's really scared right now. Understandably so. Either way, let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart once more. And once again, just to clarify, the support level of 94 cents is being tested right now on the 4-hour chart. And then we have the moving average at roughly about $1. So if all goes well, the price bounces back, gets up above this $1 range, and continues to consolidate and waits for Bitcoin to essentially do its thing. But bear in mind, there was a previous support, which is now a resistance at 106. This is also something to be mindful of, because that could work as a new resistance level here soon. So I'm hoping and guessing that the likelihood of the price kind of staying in this range here is pretty high. So we should see a channel of 92 to 106, right in that range. But looking at the RSI is extremely low. Keep in mind, you never want to just buy the dip. So when you see the RSI under 30, that doesn't mean you just jump right in, right? We wait for the RSI to come back up and to actually test that level. So again, if you're doing like a short-term swing trade, like 1 to 30 days, then you would want to go ahead and wait for the RSI to come back up on the 4-hour chart. If you're doing a, just say, shorter swing trade, right? 24 hours or less, perhaps even a day trade, then we would want to look at the 15-minute chart and see what the RSI looks like there. Okay, because the RSI, again, it changes based on your time frame. So you gotta just keep that in mind, that they all have different perspectives. So if your perspective is to do a swing trade, you're looking at 4-hour chart or higher in most cases. Some people use the 1-hour chart, not to say it's a bad thing, but I do prefer the 4-hour chart. It gives us most consistency. And then alternately as well, on the 15-minute chart, that's good for something that would be much more short term, a couple days or less. Okay? But yeah, generally speaking, the MACD is extremely low. It's basically two parallel lines going straight down. That really just tells us that the bears are in very good control, very strong control, but we can expect that to turn around with the RSI coming under 30. We should see some type of turnaround soon. Okay, because again, the average true range of Matic should be in the 160 to 180 range. It should not be this low. So there should be a reversal soon. That would be my guess. I think that will happen, but we'll see what occurs here next. 15-minute chart. All right, take a look at this guy here. First thing we do, of course, is remove the moving averages and enable the EMA and the VWAP. So as you can see, the price action is under EMA. It's trying to break above, and it's testing the resistance level of 93 cents. And then above that, we've got the volume weighted average price trending around 104. And if you're new to the channel, the VWAP is essentially just it's a price that allows for us to understand what the average volume was. So it takes the average volume of the last 24 hours, expresses it as a price. So right now, the price should be roughly about 104. That's why it's considered to be oversold, and you'll see the RSI was very low recently. Okay. Furthermore, let's go ahead and see if we can identify the 1 minute chart, kind of see what's going on there, if there's a good entry point. Because again, I typically try to wait for the price action to come above a support level in order to take entry myself. So when you think about it this way, and unfortunately it doesn't carry over, but what was it? It was like 93 cents? So right at about 93, so right where the price action is right now, as a rough estimate, about 93 cents. That is approximately where the resistance line is, right? So not only is the price under the EMA line, it's under the resistance line and also the VWAP. Okay. So to me, there is no good entry point at this time because of the simple fact that the price hasn't gained its confirmation yet. It needs to confirm above the price action. So we want the price to come above one of these two support and resistance levels to ensure that it's staying above. So what I do is I always wait for confirmation, and my confirmation on the 1 minute chart, if you're going to be doing a day trade, is to wait for the price to come above the EMA line and to have 3 solid green bars. Furthermore, we want the price to be above the resistance level. As you can see, it's been tested 3 times here recently. So we want to wait for it to break above and stay above. Okay, so preferably the price comes up over EMA, stays above the support level here, or the previous resistance, preferably becomes a support. And then we see 3 solid green bars, and that's going to look like this. You see these 3 solid green bars above EMA? That is essentially what it should look like. Okay, and that is confirmation. When you see some kind of nice pattern forming above, comes up and it tests the EMA and stays above. So that's what we're hoping for here soon. So the price comes up, tests off this level, and continues. That would be what we're looking for as a support. Just bear in mind, the VWAP is working as a resistance right now. It'll slowly come down as the price slowly comes back up, and we'll eventually see if it can hold above that average price. So just, again, something to be mindful of. So big picture here for me, my projection or prediction for Matic is for it to recover. I think it will recover. It should have recovered a while ago. But Bitcoin being as stubborn as it is, hovering between 38 and 42 down to 32 and then 38 again, that's really causing this state of panic in a lot of ways where people are selling for, I wouldn't say no good reason, it's legitimized, but it's unfortunate because it happens more frequently than it needs to. I mean, it's great in the sense that we have very affordable coins right now. Like Matic at sub $1 is a great price. That's my opinion. But on the same accord, should it be doing what it's doing right now? No, it should be performing a lot better right now. So for those of you hodling, I would just say continue to stay strong. I think there's a strong likelihood the price is going to come back up. That's just my personal opinion. Again, not a financial advisor, but I am in a position probably similar to you guys as well, where I want to see the price come up over $1 and essentially find some type of returns on our investment. And with Bitcoin performing the way it is, it's hard to say. So pay specific close attention to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes sideways for 2-3 more days, then we'll be in good shape to see Matic recover. If Bitcoin keeps dropping down to test the 30,000 range and eventually breaks, then it's going to be a state of complete hysteria. It's not going to be good. So if you found benefit from this, please like and subscribe. I know it's hard to want to be confident in this industry right now, but I can tell you that We will weather this. Worst case scenario, you wait 4 years for your investment to return, right? I'm kidding, sort of, but also not. There's truth in every joke. All right, so thanks again for joining me here today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.